folks. I hope everybody's having a great New Year's Eve. Everybody's getting ready to go out tonight and party, get drunk, and erase this horrible 2022 we just had. Um, and when I say erase this 2022 we just had, yes, 2022 was not a good year for crypto, but it wasn't surprising if you follow the Bitcoin 4-year cycles. Ever since I really got into crypto, I heard about the 4-year cycles. I got into cryptocurrency in 2017, read all about the 4-year cycles. I didn't really believe them. Tone Vase was saying we're hitting the top. We're going to go into a multi-year bear market per the 4-year cycles. I thought it was crazy. I'm like, how can Bitcoin do the same thing every 4 years? It can't be that easy. Then going into the next bull market, I sold a lot of my coins, but I didn't sell all of them because I still wasn't a full believer in the 4-year cycle. Now, even going back last year, so last year we hit a top in Bitcoin. So this is a 1-year chart for Bitcoin. We were like $45,000, $50,000 last year. Now we're all the way back down to $16,000. So this entire year was just a wipeout on Bitcoin. Bitcoin followed the 4-year cycles 100%. So statistically, Bitcoin usually drops 75% in the 4-year cycles. That would bring Bitcoin down to about $10,000 to $12,000. Now, for me, this time last year when Bitcoin was at $50,000, Cardano was at like $1.50 or whatever, a dollar, I was saying to myself, yeah, I do believe in the 4-year cycles, but I just can't see Bitcoin dropping 75% again because it just doesn't have to happen. I thought maybe Bitcoin go down to $20,000, $25,000. Okay, but does it really have to drop this 75% every time? And yeah, it looks like it does. I mean, if you're not a believer in the 4-year cycles after just reading history on Bitcoin or just living through it, I mean, it really is incredible. Now, it doesn't mean the 4-year cycles are going to last forever. It doesn't mean we're not going to have a 4-year cycle next time, but everything to a T is 4-year cycles. Okay, so if you read a little bit of this article, because it's very interesting, and really, all my videos really for the last year, when I make my little predictions and I talk about crypto, it's really all based around the 4-year cycle. I'm not like a fortune teller or anything like that. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I'm a pretty good gauge on what's a shitty project and what's not. But as far as being in a good project, it's just basically all the 4-year cycles. So the Bitcoin halving cycle is a 4-year cycle that consistently results in an increase in the price of Bitcoin and strong indicator for the next bull market. If you're wondering when the price of Bitcoin will go up or potentially when the next bull market is, the upcoming date for the next Bitcoin halving may be an excellent indicator. And like I said, ever since Bitcoin's existence, it has been an excellent indicator. People don't want to believe it. They want to discount it. And then the halving basically kicks them in the ass. And the halving cycle always wins. We always get a horrible bear market. Then we go into a bull market near the halving. So what is the Bitcoin halving cycle? The Bitcoin halving is a programmatically set event that takes place every 4 years. It's part of the deflationary code built into the cryptocurrency, which results in the supply of Bitcoin created to be cut by 50% every 4 years. Now, of course, when you cut something's supply, that means there's less of it, there's more scarcity, and it goes up. So that's pretty much, in a nutshell, what the Bitcoin cycling is. The deflationary mechanism results in the supply of Bitcoin decreasing over time. And if you remember your economics, this results in increase in price. Historically, this is held to be true. Over the last 3 Bitcoin halvings, the market price of Bitcoin has significantly increased, and with it, a new bull run. When are the halvings? The first Bitcoin halving occurred on November 2012, after a total of 10,500,000 Bitcoin had been mined. The second halving occurred on July 9th, 2016, and the latest Bitcoin halving was just a couple years ago, as we all remember, 2020, or May 11, 2020. And what happens shortly after May 2020? Bitcoin went crazy. Now, I was in crypto since 2017, and I remember in 2018, everything was horrible, folks. I mean, it was not fun. I mean, I think my Cardano was down to like 4 cents. That's why I bought a lot of my Cardano, to be honest with you. And everybody was saying, the smart money was saying, like Tone Base, Willy Woo, like the big players who aren't shills were basically saying, look, wait until that Bitcoin halving. The price is going to go up. And I was saying to myself, I don't know about that. Why? Who cares? I mean, everything's so negative right now. Who cares about the halvening? Because even if we have the halvening, the negativity is just so low. But the Bitcoin halvening changes the sentiment. People see a reduced supply and they get bullish again. So the next Bitcoin halving is expected to be in May 2024. Actually, last I heard was April. It could actually be even March, because it's not like an exact science. So we're a little bit over a year. We're a year and a couple months away from the halving. Okay. Taking a closer look at the first and second halving events, we can see a few patterns emerging. Okay, now this is really interesting. Approximately a year before the halving, the price of Bitcoin starts to appreciate. Okay, so when would a year before the halving be? That would be, what are we on? Let's say we're in July or January right now. So February, March. So in about 2 to 3 months, we should start to see a bottoming out and an uptrend in Bitcoin, according to what's happened for the last 12, 13 years. Now, does it have to happen? Could it take 6 months for us to come back up again and start to get a little bit bullish? Absolutely, that could happen. But according to history, if the next Bitcoin halving is in April in 2024, that means this April, which is when my birthday is. So we're a couple months away, 3 or 4 months away. We should start to appreciate. Approximately a year after the halving peaks, the top is reached and the trend reverses. Folks, that's exactly what happened last time. We went bullish, and then a year later, which was last year from the halving, so it was like a year and a half or something like that, we went into the bear market. It's like 100% to a T. I understand if the halving was like, okay, well, sometimes the halving, it makes the effect, sometimes it doesn't. It's like a 50-50 thing. I'd be like, okay, well, it's like flipping a coin. But every single time the Bitcoin halving, it's on cue 100% by the numbers. And that's how guys like Richard Hart, Gareth Soloway, all these big guys who have called the market have done it, because they put full faith in the halving. Now, my full faith is now in the halving. It's been the halving really for the last year. But before that, I just wasn't a huge believer. But now that I've seen it, I have to be a believer. So during the most recent Bitcoin halving, May 11, 2020, we were witness to all-time highs of $63,000 Bitcoin, which took place April 13th, 2021, just under 1 year after the last halving. So everything is basically to a T. So looking into the past as an indicator of what may happen in the future based on the Bitcoin halving, it's likely to go as follows. We can expect to see a continued downtrend in the market until early next year. Okay, so today's New Year's Eve. So tomorrow's 2023, essentially. So like I've been saying in my videos, the reason I've been saying this in my videos for the last couple months is because of the Bitcoin halving. I'm not just making this stuff up off the top of my head, folks. It's because of the Bitcoin halving. I've been saying I think the first half of 2023 might be sketchy, but then getting closer to the halving, we're probably going to go up. So this is what this article says. We can expect to see a continuing downtrend in the market until early next year, 2023. The next bull run and significant appreciation in the price of Bitcoin will occur around May 2023, about a year before the halving. So they're saying they think we're going to start to see a change around May, but that's basically, like I said, the Bitcoin halving could take place in April or before. So I'd put my money on around April, maybe a little bit before April. We could see the bottom of the market around November or December. So this was obviously written a couple months ago. Well, we're pretty low right now, folks. We're pretty low. Altcoins have been decimated. And this is basically just saying how to profit from the Bitcoin halving cycle. Clearly, once we get close. So basically, according to this article and basically according to history, once we get closer to the halving, you're going to see price go up. And then after the halving, price will continue to go up, and everybody's going to be bullish, everybody's going to be happy. Then about a year after the halving, we got a big blow off top, which you basically just have to read market sentiment to tell when that's going to be. And then you basically have to take your profits. A lot of people don't take their profits. A lot of people buying their Cardano right now at $1, under $1, 50 cents. The saddest thing for me, and I actually made a video about this. I called the Cardano top and all that stuff, where I was on Crypto Dan's channel last year begging people to take profits. I was like, sell your Cardano at $2. We're going into a bear market. Like, I was so certain we were going into a bear market. And it was just basically based around the Bitcoin halving. We were a year past the halving. We had gone up like 100 freaking X in all these coins, and it was basically just time to dump, and people were not taking profits. Even big YouTubers I watched, cryptocurrency news guy, the Chinese guy or Asian guy, he wasn't taking profits. I was begging him to take profits. Like, just hardly anybody listened. So I'm hoping going into 2023, a lot of you dumbasses who didn't take any profits and have been in crypto since 2017 like me, make sure you take some profits. I even know one. I was talking to my father-in-law the other day. He was telling me a guy bought Theta just around the time I did, a lot more Theta than me, and at the height of the market, it was worth over $1 million, and he didn't take any profits, and now it's down to like $50,000, and it's like, and I was telling him, I'm like, I bet he's not going to make that mistake again. Now, I sold half of my Theta when it was like $8 or $9 or something like that, and I was able to pay off my house, but if I didn't sell any of my Theta, it would be down to like $2,000 right now. It's like I would have lost like everything. So make sure you take your profits at the top of these cycles, folks. Everything goes off the 4-year cycles. And that's pretty much what this video is going to be about. The Bitcoin halving cycles have not failed. They have yet to fail anybody. Now, they could fail. This could be the one time it doesn't happen. The cycle is broken because of everything going on in the world. But you have to remember, the last Bitcoin halving in 2020, we had COVID, we had the virus. That was far more serious than inflation. Everybody thought the end of the world was coming. The pandemic was going to wipe everybody out. Interest in crypto was at all-time lows. Nobody gave a crap about crypto. Even guys like BitBoy were like, getting like no views on their videos. Like nobody cared. It was the end of the world. And then of course it blew over, and the halving comes, and we go bullish for a year. So there's always a reason why we go down. Like there's always a reason. Like somebody, you're like, oh, like why is Tesla down? Oh my God, he bought Twitter. He bought Twitter and there's competition. No. Tesla's down because every tech stock's down. Why is Coinbase down? You know why Coinbase is down? Because, they're going to get SEC regulated and nobody likes Coinbase anymore. That Brian Armstrong ran to the ground. No. It's because Bitcoin's down 75% and nobody's using the exchanges anymore. So it's the same with everything. Why is Cardano down? Oh, that Charles Hoskinson, he's such a lowlife. He's picking fights with other projects. What's wrong with him? He's killing Cardano. No. Every altcoin, even the best one, drops 95% in the bear market. Folks, 2017 when I got into crypto, Ethereum was $800. It then dumped a couple years later down to like $30 or $40 or $50 or something like that. So, and people were saying back then, oh, Ethereum's a scam. What a piece of junk. It's never coming back. And then it goes up to $5,000. Same with Theta. Oh, this is my last analogy because I could go all day. I remember Theta. The way I got into Theta was Michelle Whitedup, who's a psychic who actually just passed away, was talking about Theta. And she's like, buy it now at 5 or 10 cents. It'll be like up to like $1,000 at one point, but definitely over $20 next bull run or whatever. She was pretty close. And she made that prediction when it was 5 cents, and like Theta was doing nothing for like a year. It was like just crashing, and people were like, oh, this Michelle Whitedup, she's the worst. And this guy Jay Snip, who was also talking about it, everybody was giving him crap. He's like, you scammer, Jay Snip, you said Theta was going to be, $10 by now. It's only 20 cents. It's a dead project. Everybody was selling their Theta, and Jay Snip was like, I'm just buying more. I'm buying more. And I remember it got so bad for this guy Jay Snip. He had like a big cold sore on his lip. He was like all stressed out because like it's stressful. And then, of course, Theta went up to $10, $12, and hundreds of his followers became millionaires. Unfortunately, I was not one of them, but I did pretty good on Theta. But I certainly didn't make $1 million. And that's one reason I'm so into crypto right now. I'm not going to make any of the mistakes I made before. I'm going to make millions of dollars next bull run. And then, of course, everybody's like, oh, Michelle Whitedup, she's the best. She's so great. Oh, Jay Snip, you're so great. But when things are low, you just get a lot of shit from everybody because everybody's so miserable. And, I made the comment on my YouTube channel today with somebody who was like, hey, Mike, you said buy all your Theta before December. Okay, well, I thought Theta would have probably bottomed out by now. But it might not bottom out for another 3 or 4 months. Maybe it won't bottom out like this article says, according to the halving. Maybe Theta, Cardano, Bitcoin, maybe we don't bottom out until April or May. But Who cares? Who cares? I mean, look, folks, if I was a fortune teller and I like knew the future, do you think I'd be making fucking YouTube videos? I'd be on some island somewhere, being in Mexico. I'd buy like a whole island in Mexico. I'd be like being served by senoritas right now. They'd be bringing me like drinks, and I'd be sitting by the pool. No, nobody knows. But the closest thing we have is the Bitcoin halving cycle. So, like I said, the biggest problem is people get caught up in the hype. They see their Cardano at $3 and they think it's going to go higher after it already pumped from 2 cents to $3. They see Bitcoin at $67,000 and we're approaching that year since the halving. That's how you know the top is near, and that's how you know when to get out. And 99% of the YouTubers I watched had no clue. Had no clue. So I don't claim to be perfect, but I at least claim to have some common sense. And like I said, I'm going to make another video about this later, but you just have to make sure you're in the right projects. If you're in the right projects, good projects, they're going to follow Bitcoin. They're going to follow the Bitcoin halving. And it looks like the worst is probably over, meaning we've already been in this bear market for a year. We're probably going to bottom out in the next few months going into April. And I think by summer, we're at least going to be back up to a $30,000 Bitcoin. And we'll probably hang out there for a while until we get closer to the halving. And then after that halving, we're going to go crazy. Or at least around the halving. So, and then a year after the halving, it's going to be a year of bliss and happiness, and everybody's going to be talking about how great crypto is. It's a full year of happiness where you're like walking around on cloud nine, like, wow, is this high ever going to end? And then it ends, and you go into depression. That's what happens to everybody. So that's what it looks like is going to happen. We're following the halving cycle just like we always do. So stop with the emotion, stop with the negativity. If we come into 2024 near the halving and Bitcoin's at like $5,000 and it's not doing anything, then I'm going to come out and say, looks like things are over. This is bad news. But folks, right now, to a T, and make in my comments if I'm wrong on this. We are following the 4-year cycle 100%. So there's nothing wrong, folks. It's like there's nothing wrong, nothing to see here. This is exactly what happens every 4 years. All right, folks, Happy New Year, and hopefully 2023. I think 2023 is going to be better, at least after we bottom out. I think towards the end of 2023, I'll be making a video this time next year talking about how well, Bitcoin and crypto has come a long way in the last year. But things take time. I don't expect all-time highs until 2024, mid-2024 going into 2025, but I do expect a major rebound most likely as we get closer to the halving the second half of this year. All right, folks, like and subscribe. Have a good day.